All right, so we got our 4 bottom perimeters on. Our next step is to put our top perimeter on to hold the walls square, and then we're going to put our bracing in on the sides, so 2x4s that go vertical from top to bottom. It is taller on this side than it is on that side, so the angle of the roof is going to be this way. Our door is going to be on this side, like I said a minute ago. And we're going to preferably put it on this side because the gap's a little bit, we made it so the gap was a little bit smaller, because our gap's in between here. It's just too big of a door for what we're needing. But we wanted to make it at least probably like 30 something inches wide, just to be comfortable going in, carrying waters or anything like that without having a problem with turning sideways or whatever. But now we need to get the tops and put that in. Click.
Go ahead, talk to the camera.
All right, y'all, so we got the top, as you see, in here. And the braces is what holds it plumb. I ain't really worrying about, because the ground angles this way. I ain't really worrying about that. I'm more worrying about the plumbness on it. And it's perfectly level going this way. This way it ain't going to be perfectly level, it's going to be off because we're on an angle and it's sloping that way. So basically we did that just to get it close so we don't have to pull on this or the vertical here and try to hold that in place. So that's why these braces are here, to hold it somewhat square. And now what we're going to do is get our vertical 2x4s for the 10-foot side, the 10-foot wall, and they're going to go from basically right here up to here. And you know, we'll probably put 3 of them in each side, as long as I got 3 2x4s that are long enough per side, so that's 6. So they're going to have to be around 8 feet. They don't have to be to the top of this one. They can, as long as it falls out halfway on that, so I have something to screw to, that's all I need. Same with the bottom, so it don't have to be from the ground to the very top of this. But if you have the length 2x4, do it that way, just because that's just more to screw to and more you know, more of the board button to each other, so it'll be more sturdy. But going halfway up this is more than enough, because it's already braced in each corner, and I can actually hang from this right now and it ain't falling.
Pull up.
I ain't gonna pull up. And I'm 240 pounds, so that means we'll be safe going up there to put tin on, at least on the sides for now. The center don't have nothing, so we had to find boards for that. So now we got all 4 walls basically studded up for as many we're putting in here, because we are going to add 2x2s around the outside perimeter. Basically it's going to be a 1.5 by 2 inch, because the bottom here measures exactly 2 inches, so I have to make the same distance off of here to match everything flush around the outside perimeter. So if I did use a 1x6 down there, then I would do an 1.5 by 1.5 piece here. But I got a table saw, so I can make them any width I want to match here, so everything's flush on the outside perimeter. And then I'm going to cap it with a 1x2 for the hardware cloth. But we got these gapped evenly around the whole perimeter, and everything matches up perfect. So now we just need to find boards so we can start ripping 1.5 by 2 inch pieces, so we can screw to the perimeter here. And we got 4-foot hardware cloth, so we're going to come up 4 feet, probably about center of here, the 1x6. We're going to come up about halfway and then measure 4 feet up, and then put another one. And then we're going to put one at the 2-foot mark in the center, so there ain't too much flimsy in the hardware cloth. So basically every 2 feet up, we're going to put a 1x2 and wrap it. All right, you can sit on that now.
Alright, so you need to measure your other distance around.
We need to do one about. All right, y'all. We have to do one about halfway up just for a support. Because spanning 4 feet, you'll have a lot of flimsiness in the hardware cloth. So we're gonna go about halfway up from the down there and put another perimeter just like this down there. But in the midst of doing that, I'm gonna pull measurements from here. I'm gonna put the longer ones so we split the seam, because we didn't have full length distance pieces to do the full lengths I need. So I have a seam here like you seen, and instead of doing the long one on my left side, I'm gonna do the long one on my right side and break it here and put the short one in the corner. So it'll hold it better. It'll brace it. All right.
Where's the tape measure?
Levi had it. Levi, you got a tape measure?
No.
Go over there by the stove thing.
I got it.
By the where?
Talk.
All right, y'all. So this is the next day. As you see, we got all this, the horizontals done. So all these outside horizontals here match up with the outside down here for the width. So basically we're gonna lay our hardware cloth up against these boards that we're putting on now. These verticals, we're doing all the verticals in the corners so it doesn't rip the hardware cloth when we wrap it around the corner. See, it's something nothing can get behind the wire. It blocks off the corner. And then after we get the hardware cloth on there, we're going to use a 1x2 and screw it to the outside edge of this to pinch the wire to this board. So there is no staples involved. There's just like little inch screws, or inch and 5/8 screws, 2-inch screws we can use. I'll probably use 2-inch screws. They go through the 1x2 and hit this 2-inch by 1.5-inch piece of board that we rip down on the table saw.